Good to see you. How are
How
you?
you doing? I'm good, good. Just rolling down the road here. Tour life, you know.
So where are you headed?
Austin, Texas.
Oh yeah, you mentioned that earlier in an email. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's all good
Awesome.
though. I had to make quick emergency stop.
Well, you're a road
Yeah,
dog. Wow. Okay.
yeah. Doing what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good that thanks so much for taking the time and that
No problem, man.
this interview is going to be happening. Yeah. So this is for Rock Hard Magazine, but I was formerly working 17 years for Guitar Magazine. So
Uh
this,
huh.
so you're talking to someone who plays guitar and is interested in songwriting and guitar and sounds as well.
Right on.
So it's not only the history of Exodus and Gary Holt, but particularly I'm particularly interested in your background, your songwriting, how where you came from as an artist, and let's start from scratch a bit because I think there's a really rare thing going on with cats like you. Um, most of the times, metal bands have a great rhythm player or a great lead player. You're the master of both disciplines, and that's quite rare. It's like Dimebag Darrell or Eddie Van Halen. You do both.
See,
So,
I'm glad you mentioned Eddie because Eddie was one of the best rhythm players on earth.
oh my God, yeah.
He was also the funkiest guitar player.
Oh
His
yes.
riffs were like funky, so funky he could have played for like Ohio players, you know. He could have played for fucking Parliament, you know. I mean, he was that funky. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
me, the lead part is like the part that's not important to me. It's the rhythm part. Like you're playing rhythm for 99% of the song, you should make it count, you know. And I go out there live and I try to, I visualize it like I want every chord to be like killer, like I don't want any slop, anything bad. I want it all killer. The leads, I know like seven licks, like, but Angus Young didn't need more than 4 or 5. So, why do I?
That's
Uh oh.
understatement. I mean, I've seen you with Exodus live, I've seen you with Slayer live, and I think you just you kill it as a rhythm player and as a lead player, and that's quite a rare ability. Yeah.
See, like a lot of guys, they take the half most of the song off, like they're on vacation, because like, oh, I got to save it all for my solos, and then they fucking sleepwalk through the rhythm part. I'm sleepwalking through the solos, like, that's where my right hand gets a break, because I've been punishing myself all the way through the song, trying to make it as brutal and accurate as I can, and I could never understand why someone would put all their effort into such a small percentage of the song.
Yeah, yeah, totally, totally. I mean, Angus Young was still important for ACDC. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But Malcolm Malcolm was the heart of the and soul of the band,
Yeah, absolutely,
the rhythm player. Yeah, for
absolutely.
sure.
But
Let's.
Angus is a great rhythm player in his own
Oh
right.
yeah,
It's just Malcolm being that's all he does, and he has this unique tone and stuff because he's able to tailor his rig to never bending a string. Like so he's able to get that sound that he
oh
had.
yeah.
It's like
Yep.
amazing.
So where did Gary Holt come from? What was the spark of your what was the initial spark of your guitar career
You
when you
know,
were young?
I'm the youngest of 6 kids. And there's 5 boys, and the oldest is my sister. And all my brothers were into hard rock, and that's what I grew up on. I still consider Exodus a hard rock band, just like a little bit like maybe on steroids. And that's what I grew up on. My guitar heroes are like, my number one favorite guitar player is Richie Blackmore.
Oh, that's a good one.
And he's my hero. Like, first time, I mean, I love Deep Purple. Then I heard Rainbow, and it changed my life. But my other heroes are like, you know, Ted Nugent. He's one of my fucking absolute guitar heroes.
That's a good one. Yeah.
My high school, in Angus Young, my high school was ruled by ACDC and Ted Nugent. and Ricky Medlock from Blackfoot. You know,
I love Ricky Medlock.
And he's like one of the Blackfoot's one of my top 5 bands of all time. You know, and you know Nazareth and Montrose, and you know later Ronnie Montrose with Gamma, Van Halen, of course. You know, from Les Dudek, you know, Robin Trower. You know, these are like heroes of mine. You know, guys I was lucky enough to see growing up. You know, and bands like, you know, fucking the Outlaws, you know, and Skinner and Molly Hatchet, you know. And you know, so that's where it started for me, you know, Black Sabbath obviously, and then later you add in Judas Priest to the mix, and Motorhead, and eventually Iron Maiden and stuff, and then you've like found like the seeds of Exodus, so to speak, you know, especially once you added in like some Discharge, you know.
That's super interesting. I mean, the story has been pretty much often told that you've been actually the first thrash metal band coming from the Bay Area with a demo of all of them, you know, big cats like Metallica and Testament and such. But you were the last band actually releasing an album.
No, we released our album well before Testament. You know, Testament comes 7 years.
No, but I meant Metallica.
I mean, out of Metallica and stuff, yeah, absolutely. You know, because that's what happens when you sign a record deal with a couple of guys, still good friends of mine, you know, but guys, they're starting their own label for the first time. You know, fucking growing pains were bad. You know, the album was done for a year before it was released, you know. I mean, but I don't waste any time thinking about that stuff. I let other people worry about what could have been, should have been. I'm still here. I'm still fucking still riffing out harder than anybody.
Going strong.
I mean, you know, who's gonna fucking step up? You know, this band has better riffs than all of them. So,
well, you know,
I said it. Right? We're the riff kings. So.
I was just rooting into something else. I was thinking and imagine young Gary Holt being influenced by all these great players and classic rock, starting songwriting. What would you say has been the quintessential songwriting advice that you started as a songwriter and as a guitar player in the metal scene back then, and what is still the thing that you would always go back to, that you have been rooting your style and your stylistic in?
Well, you know, like us as a band, when we're writing songs, we write for ourselves. We don't write for you, that guy, anybody. We don't give a fuck if anybody else likes it. And, you know, and if you're lucky, you write songs that you like and everybody else likes them too, you know, if you're lucky. But, you know, the minute you start writing for someone else is the minute you've kind of lost the battle, because you're faking it. You're writing for an audience. You might as well be Taylor Swift, you know. She writes for her audience. That's fine. Yeah. And, you know, like, but, you know, when Exodus decides to do a 2 albums of like songs that probably average 9 minutes in length, that's because we wanted to, not because it was like, you know, something we thought people wanted. You know, we write for ourselves, you know.
Yeah.
Still do, you know. And we also, you know, if you look at our songs, there's like huge hard rock influence on all of it, you know. Like that's where the catchy choruses come from, because, you know, we grew up on that, you know.
It's quite funny that you mentioned that, because earlier today I went through the back catalog of Exodus during the week, but earlier today I listened to Fabulous Disaster, and I think I love this album because you have this cover version of Low Rider on it, and even some blues, like Cajun Hell. So that's still an album that I love to go back.
Cajun Hell right now.
Awesome.
We're trying to get Cajun Hell in the set. We're working on it every day at soundcheck.
Oh man,
we haven't played it ever with Lee Altus on guitar.
That'd be so cool. So
it's getting there. It's close.
Interesting point. So you're gonna be playing at Rock Hard Festival next year. So is there any chance to Cajun Hell on Rock Hard Festival 2025?
I think we might have it tight by then.
You got to do that.
You know, I think there's a good chance. Yes, there's a good shot.
Cheers, by the way. It's 6 o'clock in the evening here.
Yeah, well, it's happy hour everywhere on Earth somewhere.
5 o'clock somewhere. Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting to go back the back catalog of Exodus, but still, the modern albums are still strong as fuck. I mean, I was blown away by Blood In, Blood Out. I love this album.
You know, and that's not my favorite record.
Yeah, but I love it.
I'm never happy. You know, as a band, we're never happy. We always want to top it. I mean, I think I'm more nervous about the next album than any in a long time because Persona non grata was so fucking killer, and we had such unlimited time to make it during the pandemic. You know, now we're back to like, you know, having to like adhere to a time. But you know, we'll come through. You know, it always works that way with us. But you know, like the second an album's done, I want to do a new one because I'm never happy. The band's never happy.
But that's good.
Yeah, you know, we like
keep you motivated.
Yeah, exactly. We love riffs. Riffs love Exodus. You know, and I love writing riffs. You know, it's just fun. It's not work. You know, you know, me particularly, I'm always looking for new ways to approach, you know, simple chords, you know, because, you know, there's only so many notes on a guitar, you know, how many, you know, but, you know, we've always been successful in finding new ways to apply, you know, in this simple realm of metal, you know, like, you know, even our most ambitious, longest songs still can be very simple and primal, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Let's stick a bit with the sound and talk about gear. You're an ESP endorsee for years right now. You're still developing your signature models. Let's talk a bit about your current signature model. What's new? What's different? What's always on the guitar and in the guitar? What's important for you with your signature model?
You know, it's got to sound killer. You know, I like them heavy. You know, my back doesn't always agree with me, but you know, I feel a guitar should feel like I'm holding like a real weapon of war. You know, when I grab a really light guitar, you know, it's like it doesn't feel like a machine gun. You know, to me, and it should be like some huge fucking gun that I could cut down entire infantries with. And fortunately they do. But you know, I wanted a 24 and 3/4 scale, you know, Les Paul scale with a whammy bar, you know, and they're awesome and they're so killer, and their custom shop guitars are the best on earth. They're phenomenal.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. And pickups. I still,
you know, I have my own signature set of EMGs, which is basically an 81 in the bridge and an 89R in the neck, where I can switch it to single coil if I want, you know.
So I was kind of like, this is really nerding right now, but you mentioned the 81 and the was it
89R?
Okay. So that's the special one, or how are these pickups different from the regular 81?
The 81's just the same, just mine are red. That's
okay.
You know, and the 89R is an 85, but you know, when you switch it to single coil, the single coil side of the pickup is closest to the fretboard. Like the regular one is closer to the middle, and I don't want it to sound like a middle pickup. I want it to sound like a Strat, you know.
That's kind of tricky. Okay, yeah. I didn't know that.
A little warmer, a little, you know, up close to the neck. It's going to be fatter, you know.
Okay, interesting. And the Floyd is a regular Floyd Rose?
Yeah, Floyd Rose with a bunch of Fu-tone upgrade, you know, Floyd Rose upgrades. You know, like, you know, they have the titanium parts, so, you know, upgrade them and I can color match them for the guitar. Like my Prince guitar, the purple one has like all purple like accents on it, and the Officer Holt has all blue, you know, so maybe like customize them a little bit, and it's makes them look good. Plus, the parts last a lot longer than titanium.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Let's talk about amplification. Are you still using amplifiers, or are you already a profiler guy?
I'm an amp guy unless I'm flying in and out of gigs, and I take my quad Cortex. I own a bunch of Kempers as well, and they're awesome too. But I've been using the quad a lot, which allows me to go to someplace like Peru and have my tone, and have it like where I'm happy. But I still run them into amps, and I still run them into cabs. I just run the output into the effects return, and because I still want that magic that happens between speaker and microphone and monitors and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't use the direct outs at all. I just use it as a preamp module, basically.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I was just gonna say.
But I'm still an amp guy. Marshall Jubilees, Jubilee reissues. That's my favorite amp.
Yeah, good amplifiers. Very
They're awesome. I mean, you got to boost them a bunch, but to me, that's part of the joy in getting a really killer guitar tone is working for it. There's a million amps out there right now that sound great right out of the box, but you sound like everybody else.
Yeah, I agree. So talking about boost, do you use any boost units, any pedals, any special loved ones that you could?
Yeah, in front of the Jubilee, I run a Boss Super Overdrive with the level on 10, the drive off, so it's just boosting the input. And I have my Protone Signature Mid Boost, which is just like a parametric mid band. And those go in front of the input, and it allows me to dial in almost a little of that wah pedally attack, super aggressive. And in the loop, I run this resonance pedal by this company called Goop Tech from Canada. And it's changed my life. It's awesome. It adds like that resonance, like say a 5150 has or modern amps have, so I can get that thumping low end. It's killer. It's just makes it bark.
Okay, that's
my Slayer rig. Is the same as my Exodus rig. It's only difference is it's 3 times as big, and every one of the amps has that pedal in the loop.
Oh wow! Okay, that's interesting. I never heard of that about that pedal. I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. They made it for amps, like more vintage amps that don't have a presence or a resonance. But, it's like I put it in mine and it changed my life. I can never go back.
Oh, okay. It's super interesting to chat with guitar players around the world. I mean, I'm fortunate to do that. And it never gets boring, and you always have a new pedal to discover or new amplifier.
Yeah, I still buy shit. I bought the pedal, like I was looking for something that did that, and I found it and bought it. And now I have, they've taken care of me. They sent me several. They even made me a 2-in-1, for the quad Cortex that I could run into stereo out into its own Goop Tech EQ pedal, but they're 2-in-1, so I don't have to put two with 2 separate power supplies. It's just 2-in-1. It's awesome.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. So you would say you're still the guy who still checks out new gear and is curious about what the fuck is going on the gear nerding.
Yeah, I still know how to.
World.
I still know how to build my rig and build pedal boards and work on my own guitars. My own guitar tech. Recently, we were on the Lamb of God cruise, and he was commenting. He's like, "Can't believe because he'll work with some other people and help him out. He's like, these guys don't know anything about setting up guitars." I've been doing it my whole life, tearing them apart and putting them back together,
That's super interesting. I mean,
you got the Eddie Van Halen school of guitar building. Because when I was young, all I could afford was cheap guitars. So, I'd take parts from one and assemble it into another to make it better, You
got to stay curious about sound. I'm
always searching for the missing. No, I'm always searching for that missing frequency, and it's that chase that makes it fun, and like I said, there's a lot of great amps out there you could plug right into, and it's fine, but everybody does that. I'm gonna go the extra mile, and I'm a tone chaser, I'm always looking.
That's cool. So let's talk about new influences, or something not metal that would would make you write metal? You know what I mean? Do you listen?
Say that again.
Do you listen to music that is not metal, but it has an impact on you as a songwriter, as a metal guitar player? Like,
I listen to like almost everything I listen to at home is not metal. You know,
tell me about it.
My phone's full of Adele. You know,
She's the greatest.
One of my favorite albums in the last 10 years is Haim, Women in Music Volume 2. You know, that's the best album ever. You know, like My Chemical Romance. There's an album. You know, The Black Parade is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Oh, that's an awesome album. Yeah.
It's brilliant. It's like Pink Floyd meets Queen, you know, like people like, oh, an emo band. No, that album is brilliant. The guitars are fucking so good.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a lot of shit in there that like can inspire, you know? I mean, that album is inspiring. It's so good. It's like monumental.
I mean, that's really interesting. That's surprising. But
I mean, you know, Prince is my musical hero. You know, I don't know how much Prince influence you might hear, but it might be there, and I don't even know it. I'm not sure.
Wow, I didn't know that. I love Prince. I mean, he was a magician on the guitar. I mean, on every instrument.
He was a magician on everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I my favorite thing is listening to him play piano. It's very,
yeah.
And I was real sad. I was on tour and I missed the piano and a microphone tour, and then he died. You know, it's like that was really distraught. You know, I mean, I cried when he died. He's my hero.
That was a sad moment. We actually made a cover story back then with Guitar-Magazin. I couldn't believe that he died. Same with Tom Petty, by the way.
Yeah.
And talking about Tom Petty, do you know this legendary gig they played? Prince played as a guest guitar player together with Tom Petty and George Harrison's son, and they played.
Oh yeah.
While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Of course, seen it like 5 million times.
Unbelievable.
He made a bunch of Hall of Fame musicians look like total amateurs.
Wow.
And they knew it. They knew it. They stood there and they watched greatness. And you're talking about fucking that cast of like legends watching a guy make them look like they don't know what they're doing.
And you see Tom Petty's face and he's like, I don't know what the fuck he's going to do. I don't know. What is he going to do? Is he going to freak out or something? And he plays this great solo.
One of the greatest solos ever played, you know, and it's not even on an album, you know. He walked out there and did it, you know.
And then he throws his guitar away and the guitar's off.
And just walks off,
Yeah.
That's Prince.
That's
amazing. Just fucking get out of my way. I'm out. See you losers later.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. I've seen that video like 1,000 times. Let's talk about great moments. Great magic moments. What would you say was one of your most memorable moment as a guitar player, no matter what decade and band?
My own personal moment?
Your own personal moment on stage with, I don't know, Exodus, Slayer, whatever.
You know, I mean, that's hard to say. Like, you know, with Exodus, I'd go back to like 1985, you know, playing the Hammersmith Odeon with Venom. You know, that was like, you know, we're kids and we're at the Hammersmith, you know, like that whole tour was like magical. And, you know, there's a million moments between then and now. And the Slayer shows we just did were like special, you know. We were really, really fucking good. And we hadn't played in years, you know, so it was cool. I mean, they're all special. We're still making special moments.
That's good. I've seen you with Slayer in Munich. I think when was it? 2019. No, 2019. It was right before the pandemic, like the Slayer farewell tour with Anthrax and Lamb of God.
Yeah.
And Obituary. Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought. I mean, it's a guitar nerd thing, but I thought that Slayer and Obituary had the best guitar sound that evening.
Well, Trevor's got one of the most unique guitar sounds in the world. You know,
he's such a fucking nice guy. We did an interview with him.
He's one of my best friends.
And he's a Marshall dude, and he plays this Fender with two humbuckers in it.
He plays a Fender, and he rolls the tone knob all the way off.
Yeah.
And with a rat pedal, you know, and it's just this sound that's only his, and no one else has it, you know.
And it's like so unique.
Without it, it's not Obituary. But with Kenny on guitar, who has a more traditional tone, the two of them like blend really well. You know,
Oh yeah.
Trevor's got all the low end because he's rolled all the high end off, and Kenny's this crunchy, more of a thrash tone. And together, it's awesome. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't be don't get me wrong. I don't want to be disrespectful about Lamb of God or Anthrax. They
No,
were
of course
they're
not.
great, but for me, Slayer and Obituary had the best guitar sound that evening. That was cool. I mean, yeah.
I'm not going to argue. The Lamb of God guitars sound awesome, and so does Anthrax. Scotty Ian's tone's great too.
Yeah,
but
for
you
sure.
know, like Trevor's is one of a kind. There's nothing else like it.
Yeah, yeah, and Slayer was killer with you. I mean, Jeff Hanneman was a great guitar player and a legend on his own. But I was blown away by you jumping in and just killing it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
That was something else. Interesting thing talking about guitar players. I'm currently writing actually another story about Dimebag, a legend story about Dimebag. And did you know Dimebag?
Well, we toured together. We took them on their first tour, you know, for Cowboys to Hell. You know, were we close friends on the tour? We were, and we were for a little while after. But then, like, you know, my life spiraled into, you know, forced retirement and drug use, and his spiraled into wild success. And you know, every now and then I'd go see Pantera, and we'd hang out, and we were like had a good time. But you know, I was kind of living in a bad place in a different world, you know. So we were not like lifelong friends from that moment on when we toured, but we had a great time on tour. You know, it was fucking awesome.
Yeah. I was curious because I got in contact with a lot of guitar players that I know who actually knew Dimebag a lot. So it's always interesting to get a comment on him as a guitar player, because I think he was such a unique guitar player. And he, like I said, he mastered the leads and the rhythm like Van Halen, like you do. So you guys have something in common.
Well, he understood the importance, you know. He was a riff lord. When you're a riff lord, you have to know how to play the fucking riffs, you know, like, and he understood the importance of that.
Yeah. Plus, he played.
I'm sure if he was here today and you asked him, if he was here today and you asked him what was more important, he'd tell you the riff.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, with him being a huge Van Halen fan, and
sure. He'd say the riff, fuck the rest.
Yeah. Plus, he was a huge Kiss and Van Halen fan, so he definitely would agree on the riff. Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, I hope to see you at Rock Hard Festival next year.
I'll see you there. It's gonna be awesome.
I'm not gonna steal you any more of your precious time, day off and riding to the next gig. Do you have a day off in between, or you just jump?
No, tomorrow's the day off. Today we play Austin tonight. Yeah.
Okay. I've never been to Austin, actually. Never been to Texas.
Oh, it's great. It's great city.
Yeah. So I gotta say, thank you very much for doing this. Very spontaneous, and
no problem, man. Thank you.
Safe travels, and yeah, I hope to see you in Germany back in 2025.
I'll see you there.
All right. Take care.
All right. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.